today we are looking at Hendrixisms.
Marvellous. Well, episode 10.
Wow, we've made it to our 10th anniversary.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations.
Did you bring us some champagne or anything?
Box of chocolates.
Box of chocolates.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's in my hotel room.
This kind of brings to a sort of conclusion the last 4 lessons, or the last 3 lessons, of this idea of the caged system and chord extensions, and how an artist might put them into use. And of course, there is no one better, in our opinion, at doing all the sort of widdly bits in between chords.
As Hendrix. Yes. I mean, he was a huge influence with this trick. I mean, I'm not sure exactly where he got it from. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure someone will tell us in the comments of a big gaping hole in our knowledge there. But it's a really useful trick, and it's not particularly hard to use. So I've got this little sequence which should explain it, and I'll try and show you different ways to approach getting in and out of it, right?
For sure.
So it's actually using all notes from the major pentatonic, and what we're going to do is we're going to learn it in C major first. But my question is, do you remember that C major and A minor are essentially the same sort of sound? They're related. Relative minor of C major is A minor. Have you?
The relative major of C. Yes, that's right. Because Yes, I always just remember that 4
frets back.
4 frets back is where you play the minor version of the major.
I mean, you can kind of see it like if you have a C major 7th chord, and then you lift off your 3rd finger, it's A minor 7. So C major and A minor 7. You know, they're so close in the sound that if you accidentally played one or the other, you definitely get away with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So we're going to learn it in C major, but know that we can also use exactly the same trick in A minor.
Fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, first finger on the 8th fret, thinnest 2 strings.
Yeah.
Yeah? Then we're going to hammer the 3rd finger down onto the 10th fret of the 2nd string. That's it. Good. So we play it once, then we play it without the 3rd finger again. And make sure you hear that thinner string. That's it. Good. Now, 2nd finger's going onto the 8th fret of the 2nd string. 2nd finger. That's 3rd finger.
Oh, okay.
That's it. 1st finger's going on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. That's it. Put it down. That's it. Now we're going to play those 2 notes, and 3rd finger's going to hammer on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. And then off. That's it. So we've got this now.
Oh.
That's it. Good. Now back to the 5th fret, and we're going to bar the 2nd and 3rd strings. 2nd and 3rd strings, yeah. And we're going to hammer the 3rd finger down in the. That's it. And then off. Same thing on the middle 2 strings. And then we're going to play it with the hammer on twice at the end, just because it makes you can go, but just makes for a nicer lick. That's it. So this is the whole thing. I'll play it once slowly, then I'll get you to start going through it. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Good. And again. Yeah. Okay. Now all of that is a great substitute for either C or A minor. Now, I've given it to you as one lick because it means that you're practicing all the different shapes, but it doesn't have to be in that order. You could do any one of them, any 2 of them, in any order, move this way. You could go.
And the idea is you would always end back on.
You probably want to end on a C or this, which is our G shape of the C chord, that first extension that we learned. Yeah. Right. So you could end on that if you want. You're just not playing the root note. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So Let's try. I'm just going to play a little C rhythm with the bass on. I want you to have a muck around and see, like, play it backwards, play it the way I showed you, then the opposite way around, then see just what happens. Explore a little bit. You ready?
Okay.
3, 4.
I don't feel like I've got a lick going yet. I feel like I've got sort of, just things, but not really a lick.
Nearly all of these things are going to take practice, right? This would actually be a lick.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Oh, I like that because you can put the C back in, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are we?
That's it. And then that's the C bass note. That's it.
There's nothing to go...
yes, there is. There.
Yeah.
Lee, you've had a lot easier with a little finger.
Oh.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So part of the trick here with learning this sort of stuff is figuring out, because you said a few times, like, where do you put those fills and where do they come?
Yeah.
Usually it's going to be related to a chord, right? So you're going to play a chord for Vit strum and then you want to do some of this and then go back into another chord, right?
But just again to go back to that, we've simply taken C.
Yeah.
Or play up. Which... So we just take... We're taking notes either from that scale or that scale.
Okay, so it's the all C major pentatonic, which is the same as A minor pentatonic. So we're not using any major scale. So it is all C major pentatonic, which is the same as A minor pentatonic. That's all of the notes we're using.
So I can see that. So that's if I. So that's
exactly
that's
A minor
bit.
pentatonic. Yeah.
And then is the
exactly. Good.
And then everything here is
yeah.
Okay.
So it's A minor pentatonic or C major pentatonic, and they're just extensions. But here's what I'd like you to practice. It's a really good exercise. Is to practice going from the chord for a bar to a fill for a bar. What have I done? Have I dropped my cable? No, it's all right. So from C, fill, C.
Yeah. It's a good way of getting the practice going, isn't it?
Now, that was a little bit fast for you to practice it now, so let's do it slow. Turn your volume up so the good people out there in the guitar land can hear you. Here we go. Just slower though. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. So C, fill, chord, fill, chord, fill, chord. Excellent. Chord, chord. 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 Excellent.
It's about you've got to focus getting that C back on that sort of beat, haven't you?
But this now it's possible to miss it and then come back in later, but you just have to be really, really confident with your groove then. If you're going to miss the beat and then slide around it and still come in on beat 2, but know that you're on beat 2 and that you're not going to like add an extra beat in the bar and it all go horribly wrong. So as an exercise, you're better off coming back to it every time until you feel confident, and then if you want, so you have. You're starting like that. But I still know where I am. 1, 2.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is possible to delay it or move it around or ignore it.
Yep.
But you need to be super confident with where it is. Yeah? Here's your next challenge. Now you're going to do it on D for 2 bars, and then you're going to do it on C for 2 bars. So you're going to do this, like this, D, D, C, C, to D.
Okay, cool.
1, 3, 4. Again, D, C. Good, D. D. C.
Okay.
Excellent.
I just
Because now it's starting to become a song. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. I've got it.
2, 3, 4. So D.
Okay, so.
Oh. That's it. Okay, a little slower. A little slower. I want you to keep. What's really important here is keeping in time more than it being fast. So here we go. 3, 4. D fills. D. C. C. Back to D. Excellent. Don't worry. Yeah. Now, bear in mind that you only learned this a few minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
So you can imagine if you could get 10 minutes a day on this for a couple of weeks only, you're already going to be feeling a lot smoother with it, right?
And actually, it really is. I had this real misconception that those licks there were somehow dependent on the chord that you were going to rather than the chord that you're on, but so, they seem less.
They're definitely tied, because it's not so much what you're going to as where you are in that moment. It's possible to do things like preempt it a little bit, so you might start playing a chord a beat or two early, but you have to be pretty savvy with what's going on harmonically at that point, because if you start playing the wrong chord too early and it doesn't fit, it's just going to sound awkward until the rest of the band catches up with you.
I suppose maybe just being aware that you know where the next chord root note needs to be, and so perhaps just being somewhere on the board that's going to get there in a nice way. But it's not hugely dependent on. And is that is it very different for sort of minor chords over major chords, or is it still the same?
Let's do the same thing now with a minor chord. So exactly the same as our C licks, but with the A minor. So
what's happening, because you're playing A minor?
Yeah.
You're staying within the A minor
pentatonic scale
as opposed to
the C major pentatonic.
Right.
It's the same notes.
No, I get it, but you're not. So what you're saying is, even though you're playing perhaps two different things, one with a root note like that, and one with a root note
all
like
of the rest of it can essentially stay the same.
Right.
It's a little bit like the difference between playing an A minor pentatonic scale and a C major pentatonic, in that the notes that you stop on are slightly different. Like if you try this lick, this lick.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that lick. Yeah. Delays annoy me. In fact, let's get some gain on. That lick sounds great over an A, right? An A blues. But if you play that lick over a C, it doesn't have the same.
No.
It just doesn't work the same way, because the emphasized notes are different. So when we were going to the playing it in A, like going like that doesn't sound so good. Or I want to finish on here again. That one. It's actually an A sus thing. Yeah. So you have to just be aware. This whole thing, I keep returning to it over and again. It's making sure that you listen to it. Yeah. And when you're doing it, if you go like, well, this one sounds a bit funky, then if it's funky good, keep doing it. If it's funky bad, stop doing it. You know?
I mean, I can't remember whether or not we even did this in an earlier Rutbusters lesson. I suspect we probably did, but it is that kind of. It is about listening to sort of understanding that if you're playing something in a. There'll be a note that they'll be happy to end on or sit on, and then if you are playing, you want different.
Exactly. It's going to resolve differently. The one where we did it was when we looked at the sixth.
Yes.
And we were saying, like, here's the sixth. It sounds really cool on the A, but it always wants to resolve. It sounds funny if you just stick on it.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same with this kind of lick.
Yeah.
So a really good thing to do now would be to put this into practice. I'd practice this as a set thing first of all, and just go through that little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 or whatever, and just get used to what the forms are and how they sit, and then start trying to put it into a tune that you know or that you like, because these things are used all the time, all the time. You know, all your John Mayer licks and all of that stuff lives in here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm doing what?
No, I was just trying to think where my brain still doesn't immediately jump to the difference between what the major and the minor. So as you were saying, like, you know, C major and an A minor is the same.
Yeah.
So
same pool of notes that you draw
E
from.
would be the B.
E major or B minor? What are you talking about? Which one?
So
E major.
If E major.
Yeah. Do it on the thicker string.
What, E major?
Yeah. Okay. Count down. There we go. That's that minor, which is what?
B.
No.
No, I didn't. Oh my God.
Yes.
C.
Nearly.
C sharp.
C sharp.
So the E major to
Danish
C.
Pete, you have to get we have to start whooping him. In the mornings he has to do his notes on the fretboard exercises. Okay. I'll leave you a little taser or something.
It was actually the other way around that I wanted to go. So I've got it. So if I was so this would be the
E minor, G
major would be
yes.
E minor. Of course it is. Of course.
Okay, Lee. You must learn the notes on the fretboard. You must learn the notes on the fretboard.
Is it literally almost worth having one of my guitars with the stickers on it?
No, it's not. No.
No.
Is that
really bad?
No.
That would be really bad.
You're just going to learn the notes.
You know what I think I need to say, actually, is as I'm doing the scales in the morning, I just need to say the notes out to myself out loud.
Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to give you the ultimate exercise now, and it's going to be, you're going to do it for 5 minutes a day, right? And the first couple of weeks are going to suck so bad that you're going to think that you're never, ever going to be able to do it, but it's super effective.
Yeah.
You're going to work out, starting with the note C, you're going to play a C note on the thicker string. With all of the notes are all played with your first finger. You're not going to use any other fingers. So you're going to play C on the thicker string, first of all. That's it, on the fifth string. Now play C on the fifth string.
On the fifth string?
Yeah, so the next string down. That's it, now C on the fourth string.
Oh no!
Yeah. Think of the octave shape from the C that you had before. Good, now C on the third string.
C on the third string is... No.
No,
hang on a second.
Up an octave from that one.
Is the
third string.
G string.
Yes.
So therefore it must be... I've completely gone to pot.
That's okay.
So...
G on the third string. Think of this G, this C, right?
Yeah.
And then an octave shape of that. You're on the wrong string. That's it, good. So let's start again. C on the thicker string. First finger, only first finger. There's a reason for that, but I'm not going to go through all of that now. Fifth string, fourth string.
I've forgotten where it is already.
It doesn't matter, work it out again.
Okay.
Think of the octave shape, good. Now, C on the third string, the one that we were just playing, good. C on the the second string. Good. Now on the thinner string.
It's got to be back up here.
Yeah, good. And now back down, first string, second string, third string, fourth string. Fourth
Come
string.
on, Anderton. Here.
Good. Fifth string, sixth string. Good. G, thicker string, fifth string.
Oh, I hate you, really.
I knew you would. Come on.
Right.
G on the fifth string.
Has to be. It's presumably up here somewhere.
Yes. Good. Fourth string. Yes. You can't use the open string on the third string.
I'm not allowed to use the open string.
No. So you have to use 12th string. Good. On the second string. Oh dear. How many beers is that? I think it should be a beer for a wrong note.
I'll be after about 2 minutes.
Anything a string.
You're not drinking, you're buying.
No, yeah, exactly. You won't be drinking any, mate. Will we do? Okay.
It's a good. To be honest, it's a good way of doing it because I have no clue. It's
Right. So
bad,
you have to
isn't
just
it?
sit down and go. Eventually, like within say 2 or 3 weeks, I'd like you to be able to do it with a metronome for the first 5 notes at least. So to sit there and go C, C with a metronome and go C, C. I'm going to do it faster now just to try and show off and see if I can remember it. And then G. And then what would be the next one? I forgot the next one. D. But you're going to go through and just, I was screwing up my tempo there, but you should be going eventually with the metronome C's all the way through, just nice and even tempo, thinking about what the next note is in advance, looking at where you've got to go, and then straight into G. And then you go through and you do all of the G's again. Yeah, and you're going to go C, G, D, A, E, B. If you can get through those 6 notes in that order in your 5 minutes, you're going to know the notes on the fretboard really well. And it's not a pleasant exercise, right? Especially if you don't know what they are and you feel like, oh my God, I get it. Well, no, you don't have to. You don't even have to get the guitar plugged in, man. You know, you can do that at home. It won't annoy the kids or anything. You know? So, but 5 minutes a day on that for like, let's say you manage to do it for a month, which would probably be feeling like a really hellish month. But at the end of the month, you'll know the notes on the fingerboard.
Yeah,
because if you get through those 6, all of the other ones are only ever a semitone or a tone away. So you know you really get to know.
I do agree, and it's awful in the sense of I absolutely still have to really go. I hope I'm about to play a C note if it's up here because I'm not going straight to it.
On every other instrument, you're a numpty if you don't know the notes on it. Like if you play piano or saxophone or whatever, lesson 1 is here's a C, this is how you play it, this is it in the sheet music. And as guitar players, well, I didn't learn to read music or learn where the notes are on the fretboard until I was 18, right?
Wow.
You know, so it's not like, you shouldn't feel bad about it, but if we're going to continue past where we're at now,
I've got to get it.
I want you to.
I've got to get it.
It'll be nigh on impossible anyway. But when you know them, it's just so much quicker for me to go, "Hey man, add it on the D," and you'll go, "Tunk," and you put your feet. It's like, yeah. And this is the same. I shouldn't be playing out on poor Lee here because he's exposing his vulnerabilities on the internet, which is, I would feel funny filming myself having lessons, so I think you're doing amazing with that.
I've exposed far worse things on the internet than just my vulnerability.
Oh my God, I don't want to see that stuff. Make sure I don't see any of that, Pete. God's sake, make sure it's on private, right? Anyway, but for you guys watching out there, if you're like the captain and you haven't learned the notes on the fretboard, really give it a go because there's so many things that become easier. Learning chords, learning scales, repositioning your licks. When you play one lick in one part and you can move it straight away to another part because you just go, oh, it went A, C, F sharp. So you A, C, F sharp, it's done. You know? It's a really big deal.
You're totally right. You are totally right.
So, there were 2 things from today then. So notes on the fretboard was a side.
It was a side thing, but important.
A side bash. But checking out that little series of Hendrix notes, then trying it out over the major chord and the minor chord, really good to use as a metronome. I know metronomes are a little bit boring. You could use a looper, but the thing with a looper is it's giving you the harmony. And one of the things about Hendrix and this style of stuff is when you're in a 3-piece, so just drums, bass, and this, and you're trying to fill the gaps of the rhythm and the lead together. So you're probably better off practicing either with a metronome or with a drum groove.
Okay.
Got it? That's it.
I was just trying to think of. I guess it's just once you understand. That was out of interest. That was a chord. You know, I was in my head. I was sort of going. No, wrong one. But so that would be as as in the second chord within that progression. So I'm thinking it is nice to kind of end on a.
There is another series of these, but I don't want to give them to you yet because it's too much stuff to learn. Okay. So again, on the theme of learning little bits well.
In that case,
if you've got that really nailed next time, then I'll show you the one based around the 5th string root. But I think now Justin and I will take our summer holidays, probably separately.
And we will see you after probably a short break, although who knows of the way these videos go out, but it'll feel like a break to us. It may not feel like a break to you.
Exactly. Well, we've got like 8 weeks to have a holiday and come back. That would be a long holiday.
It would be a long holiday, yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed getting to episode 10. I don't know what we might do for the next 10. We may. There's a vicious rumour we may end up going over to Justin's house to do some maybe gear reviews and sort of put some gear in context of stuff. Or maybe we'll find some more lessons to do.
What would you like to see?
I was leading up to that. I thought,
No.
I'm going to give you the in, and if you don't take it, I will go there. But you took it, which is good.
So, let us know what you'd like to see. My feelings are things that I would have liked to have shared with Lee still in future on to stuff like modes, because it's an incredibly misunderstood and a lot easier than people think it is area. But before we get to that, some of that stuff that we've done before, like the major scale and knowing the major scale over that, if that's not like really solid first, doing modes is just, that's the problem most people make, is they didn't learn the major scale very well or didn't practice it enough. They try and learn modes and it all doesn't work, and they're like, modes are horrible, or I'm rubbish, or whatever. But it's not, it's just you've got to be real solid with the major scale first.
Learning the notes on the fretboard, and I think, I know you said not necessarily important, but I think practicing my scales and in my head knowing what the notes are that I'm going to. No,
absolutely. No, I didn't say it wasn't important. I'm just saying there's a better way of learning the notes, which is that horrible thing that I just got you
I'll do a bit of
doing,
both, and I will make a very conscious effort that when we next meet up, which as I said may not be for a couple of months or so, that I will be, I'll just be like some sort of note wizard. And
note wizard. Pointy hat?
Yeah, probably. Oh dear. Anyway, have wonderful summer holidays, or actually by the time this video comes out, the summer will probably be over.
Exactly.
So we
in this country it is only like a couple of weeks.
And yes, thanks again for watching.
Indeed.
Buy a t-shirt or something from either channel.
Yes. I've got this sporting white t-shirt.
I
finally managed to get wearing my own branded t-shirt.
I like that a lot. We'll have to do some merchandise swapping.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right, bye guys.
You take care. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.